to form Voltron. Activate interlock. Dynatherms connected. Infracells up. Mega thrusters are go. Let's go, Voltron forward!
Hello, Books fans. This is Scorp1701, and welcome to part 6 of our 6-part series featuring the Playmates 40th anniversary Voltron lions. And it has been a very long week. We have looked at a lion each day this week, starting with the red, and then the green, and then the blue, and then the yellow, and finally the black. And now we come to the final part of our series in which we will form the mighty Voltron, defender of the universe. Yay! So hopefully you enjoyed this week's series of videos. It was a lot of work, but also a lot of fun to bring you each of these lions every day this week. And if you're just tuning in now because you didn't want to go through each of the lions, you just wanted to see the main product, I'm glad you're here watching as well. So take a look. We have seen these lions in the packaging. We have seen these lions in their standard form. We have seen these lions all armored up with their accessories, their jaw blades, their missile launchers, and their assorted weapon attachments. Well, except for the black lion, he didn't have anything. But he has those awesome wings. Look at those wings. Those are so cool. I love these wings. And finally, we have seen all but one of the lions in their Voltron modes. And I'm going to show you the Black Lion's Voltron mode right now. And to turn the Black Lion into his Voltron mode, you want to have him in his standard lion mode, like such. And first thing you want to do is bring him up. You want to stretch the legs down like such. Go ahead and fold the feet down as well. So this is what you're looking at, as long as you can get him. And that's kind of not even on camera, so I'm going to have to raise the camera up because he's going to be really big. So let's actually move these up just for now so I can get them within the screen. All right, so bring the front paws down as well on both sides. Kind of stretch them out as best you can. And what you'll do with these is there are some panels right here at the elbow. Lift that up and then fold the lion paw inside and close it up on both sides like such. Alright, and now when you're here, go ahead and twist the arm down to where you have this red section on the side, and that is really nice. And there you're gonna have the chest of Voltron. Very good. Okay, so from here you can bring the lion head down like such, but I'm not going to open the mouth until the appropriate time. Alright, on the back, lift up the wing section here, fold the tail in, undo the first part of the wings, bring them up all the way, and then split them at the top. And they are designed to where there are little sections that will lay on the back side of the shoulder section here, I guess. And it leans right there, and it makes good spot for the wings. So that is really cool. And basically, that is going to be it for the Black Lion in his Voltron mode. So literally this is what you got. We're gonna move back a little bit. So yeah, that is really big. All right, so we will go ahead and form Voltron now, and we will bring in the legs. So we will start with the blue lion, and the blue lion will be the right foot, and it basically will just go into this panel right here. Just slide the foot in, and you will hear it when you get the connection secured.
Blue Lion, coming in.
Wow! And that was Princess Allura. She actually spoke. And like I said before, when you put these limbs on, you are going to get some special sounds. All right, let's go with the yellow lion. Goes down into the slot. Oh, yeah.
Yellow lion, leaping into action.
Wow, that was cool. All right. So we'll get this stable and we will move the camera up. Hang on just a second. Let me try to readjust some things. And thank you for bearing with me. I had to find another platform to set the camera on because we are looking way up here. So, before we do the arms, another thing I want to do with the head is go ahead and pull out Voltron's ears or antlers or horns or whatever you want to call those things, because I always forget that. So we'll do that now, and we can now attach the arm. So let's start with the right arm, which is going to be the red lion. And basically you'll just find it, make sure your connection port's out, and put it in here, and it will slide right in the spot.
I'm with you, Keith. That's my right-hand man.
That was awesome. That was Lance. And another thing that we get to see now that we didn't see before because the camera was down on the legs is that every time a lion gets attached, the chest will light up. And of course it lights up whenever you hit the button too. So that is a pretty cool feature. All right, finally, the last lion is going to be Pidge's green lion, and it's going to form the left arm of Voltron. We will just slide this in.
Ready to form Voltron.
Oh, gosh.
Activate interlock. Dynatherms connected. Infracells up. Mega thrusters are go. Form feet and legs. Form arms and body. And I'll form the head. Voltron.
Voltron!
We're ready.
Boom, 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 boom. Da, da, da. And there, ladies and gentlemen, is Voltron, Defender of the Universe. 16 inches of mighty robot. Yay! Now let me get him straightened out and make sure he's cool and I've got everything connected properly, and we'll take a look at him. Be right back. And coming in real close on Voltron's head, it is a beautiful, beautiful head sculpt. We have the lion, which we've seen before with the ears coming up to the sides, but now we have the awesome face protruding through the mouth. You have a beautiful blue for the upper forehead. You have a nice round silver circle up there for some reason, coming down to some beautiful golden eyes. His face is a gray plastic, and you got some white along the sides. That is really beautiful head sculpt. Coming out, you can see that his wings are up and he is just huge. Technically, he does measure to be 16 inches, and that's from the foot to the top of the head. But if you want to go to the top of the wings, you can add another 2 inches there, and that will bring him to 18 inches. So that is a huge, huge robot, and he looks great. I love the way this thing looks. Again, I never really had a proper Voltron when I was younger, but taking a look at this one, I am super, super impressed. So we will zoom into some of the parts that we haven't seen before. Again, this is Voltron's chest. Has a nice red. It goes across. I love the chest symbol. A lot of cool colors there. Silver stomach coming down to speakers above the belt, which has a lot of cool gold markings with a huge star in the middle of it. Midsection is red with some black for the trunks. Coming down, nothing we haven't seen past that. We saw the legs and we saw the arms. So yeah, zooming all the way out again, this is a beautiful figure. And take a look at the figure from the back. Nothing that you would not expect, just a whole bunch of screw holes. And that is pretty cool. And just to take a note, this is how the instructions tell us to form Voltron, with the lion's legs facing us and the arms, and then the legs like this. But there is another actual way that you can form Voltron, and I think it might give the figure a little more oomph. So if you are interested, you can change the appearance of your Voltron by doing one simple thing. So as you can see here, all I did was change the arm lions by rotating them to have their backs facing forward. And I think that gives the robot a little better proportions, and it makes his arms look a little more beefier. It doesn't hinder the articulation of the elbow any. And like I said, I think it makes the figure look a little more beefier. And here is a quick rundown of how the back looks with the lions in this position. So not too bad, not too bad. And this is what your Voltron looks like. Moving on. And for articulation, I decided to come out of the review station because I'm going to need the room. Starting at the head can go around 360 degrees. It can kind of go down into this cavity, and it can go up all the way, so that is pretty neat. You do not get any side-to-side wiggle waggle, so it's limited in that respect. The wings can go left or right, or they could disappear altogether if you're so inclined, but I like my Voltron with his wings, so they're going to be up there. I am going to move this one around to the left so I could have room to work on this arm. So the arm articulation will start here at this panel, and it can't go forward or down anymore, but it can come up and go all the way to this point. So that is pretty neat. And then we'll bring it back down, and there is no actual rotation in the lion itself. So the next point of articulation would actually be the elbow bend. And it's not exactly 90 degrees because you can't get 90 degrees out of this thing because the mold of the lion is just too big. But that's okay. And it can go back down and back a little bit if you're so inclined. And it is built into a forearm rotation, 360 degrees. And that comes down to your hand, which is rotatable 360 degrees. So that's cool. Coming to the center of the body, he does not have any... Oh, thought I turned that off. He's a wild one. All right. He does not have any waist articulation 360 degrees, but you can use the old leg hinges to act and pretend like he has a ab crunch if you're so inclined. Back like that. But that is going to be up to you if that's something you want to do. The legs will come out a long way, almost 90 degrees, I would say. If you want to argue that, I'll give it to him. Going back down, he does have a few clicks of thigh rotation, not 360 degrees or anything, but it does have a little bit. Coming to a knee bend, which I would consider a double hinge because you have a hinge here and then the lion is on a hinge, so you get that much articulation. He can almost, actually he can kick his own back, so that is pretty neat. Coming down to the foot, you can argue that the foot is hinged and it can go down and it can go up, and the lion head can rock around left and right, so it's not much of a rocker, but it's something that you can say is actually there. Whew. And that is going to be Voltron's articulation. So he's got a lot, but it's kind of hard to get to. But I think you can get him in most any position that you think he needs to be in. When you are disengaging Voltron back to his lion modes, it's important that you just don't rip the lions off. There are actually buttons that will help you disengage the lions. So these front red panels are actually buttons that will help you take the lion off. If you push it down.
Come on, team. Let's get out of here fast.
And when you do that, he will actually say some other things that pertain to disengaging the Voltron form. So that's pretty cool.
Yes, that got him.
And then on the back for the legs, there is a button right here that you will press up that will help you disengage the lion.
With some great teamwork.
And on the other side, you kind of push this up again and bring the leg
Come
out.
on, team. Let's get out of here fast.
And there you have Voltron in his pieces. So remember, use the buttons to disengage the lions and don't just jerk them out because you could damage your figure. And since we're talking about taking it apart, when it comes to putting it together, you can mismatch the legs. And if you mismatch the legs, it won't make a sound when you put the wrong leg on. But you can't mismatch the arms because the arms are molded to fit a proper way. So if you're not hearing any sounds with the legs, make sure you got the right colors in the right spot. All right, and that's going to be some tips for you to get the most out of your Voltron without damaging it or breaking it. All right, moving on. And for Voltron's accessories, he has his blazing sword and he has his shield. Now, I love the sword. It looks really good. It fits in his hand really nicely, and I have no problems with that. The shield, on the other hand, it is nice looking, and he holds it well when he holds it. On my particular copy of this figure, the shield will not stay inserted into the green lion's mouth. I don't know if it's just something with a tab, but for some reason it just likes to pop out of his hand and just hang down, and it looks really ridiculous. I have it working here, but that's because I had to use a little bit of sticky tack to get it to stay on his forearm. But in any event, I don't think I'll display my Voltron with his shield, but his sword is definitely a must-have. Alright, and that's going to be Voltron's accessories. Moving on. In full comparison, I had to bring out the big bots. So starting off at the end of the table, I have a 12-inch Transor or Mazinger Z. Next up, I have the MPP-10 Optimus Prime, who comes in at 13 inches tall. Then you have our Voltron, which is 16 to 18 inches tall, depending on where you want to stop counting. And finally, we have the Combiner Wars Devastator, which clocks in at 19 inches tall. And these are some very, very big robots. But even with these, Voltron is technically coming in smaller than he actually is. Because if we were to look at an actual scale of how big Voltron is supposed to be, you could see that he blows the other robots away. You know, this guy's supposed to be able to defend the universe, so he's going to be pretty big, I guess. But this is the best I could come up with, and I think the comparisons are pretty good. All right, moving on. And this has been the Playmates 40th Anniversary Voltron, the Defender of the Universe. And I would like to thank you all so much for joining me on this week-long adventure as we took a look at each of these awesome Playmates reissued lions, and I had a great time. I really do hope that you enjoyed watching these videos as much as I enjoyed making them. So some final thoughts. I am very happy to have this Voltron in my collection. I'm very happy they reissued it so I could get my hands on it and review it for you guys. I think the Voltron design has always been a very simple and easy design to do. It's not complex. It's a nice standard combiner. Talking about each of the lions, I thought each lion was cool and unique and different enough that it wasn't the same mold just repainted like you get with a lot of Ninja Turtles. I liked each lion's accessories. Again, they were unique and different enough to keep me interested. And of course, you had the black lion who didn't have really any accessories. He had the gimmick of the wings and the sound box, which I think is good enough for accessories. And I don't even think we got through all of the sounds. There's over 61 of them, and I think we got through about maybe 20 or 30 on various things. And when it comes to the sound box, if you turn Voltron around on the back, he does have a little port for the batteries. You just have one screw to undo and that will bring down the panel. And he does require 3 AAA batteries, so just a note, whenever he gets low or sounds a little run down, you might need to change those batteries. When it comes to the combined mode of Voltron, I thought he was really nice. He is a little flimsy. If you don't get the feet lions just right, he will kind of fall over on you, but that's true with every combiner, I suppose. The articulation was good, even though it's kind of hindered in certain places, but not anything that would prevent you from doing pretty much what you need to do with Voltron. His accessories, the sword, really love the sword. I'm going to always have him with the sword. I do wish it was painted a little bit like on the pictures of the box, but it's okay. I could do it myself if I was so inclined. The shield, terrible. I don't like the shield. I don't know. I might have liked it a little better if my green lion would be able to hold it, but I still probably would not have used it. Don't really remember Voltron using the shield that much. Voltron's painted really well. I don't have any problem with the paint, and he looks great. I have no complaints about how this guy looks. And so all in all, yeah, this is a great figure, and I think there really isn't anything to complain about. One of the biggest things that I really liked about this thing was the price. All of the lions, except for the black one, were $20. Like I said in one of the reviews, if this was a Transformer, your arm bots would be like $20 because they would be deluxes, and then your leg bots would be $30 because they would be Voyager classes, and the Black Lion itself would be $50 because he would be a leader class, or maybe even $80 to be a commander class because he has electronics. So this being all the same price except for the Black Lion, who did come in at $30, which is understandable, that is a great deal. So like for $110, probably $125, $130 with tax, you have a huge Voltron that you could stick on yourself, and that's just great. Voltron, in my opinion, has always been a very expensive property. I always measure it to be like $10 an inch. If you want a 6-inch Voltron, you're going to pay about $60 for it. So this is a great opportunity that Playmates has given us to get a good-looking, inexpensive Voltron for ourselves. Now, one of the big issues that I've already been asked about Voltron is, where do you find him? How do you get him? I've been to every Target in my area and I can't find him. And I got very lucky because I was able to find the pre-order for the Black Lion online at Target.com. And then when I went to the store, I asked about the others and they had them all and they brought them up to me. But a lot of people are having trouble, and that's not the case for them. So what I have done is I have looked up each of the lions, and here is a picture of them with their item codes. You have your TCIN number, which will help you find it on the Target website. So if you go to the Target website and type in that number, it will pull it up. You have your UPC number, and this number is the barcode number on the back of the packaging. And lastly, there is a DPCI number, and this number will help you when you go into the actual Target store to give this number to an employee and ask them very nicely if they could look it up for you, and if it's in the store, they should be able to find it. So with these three numbers, it should help your search for these lions go a little easier. I hope they are going to become more readily available because this is a great set and I think a lot of collectors will be wanting it. And I don't want anybody to have to pay second-hand prices like on eBay because they already jacked up the prices. A lot of these are going for like $75. So I would suggest check out the Targets, use these numbers to help you, and just be patient and hopefully they'll come your way. So if you're looking for them, happy hunting. All right, guys, that is it. That is going to be the end of our week-long extravaganza. I thank you so much for sticking with me and watching these videos. I do hope that I made you laugh or think or just showed you something you didn't know about these awesome figures. But in any event, I hope you guys have a great night, and until next time, keep playing. Alright, Voltron, welcome to your new home on the shelf.
Where's it at? Oh no, what did he do with it?
Ah! I caught you. You were trying to steal my yellow lion, weren't you?
It's my yellow lion.
No, it's my yellow lion. I think I bought it at the store and did a whole review on it.
I think it will be mine. Because I need it. I want it really bad.
I know.
Oh, thank you.
Here you go. You can have it, but you must promise me that you'll let me have it once a year for my group toy shoot, and if I ever need Voltron for a comparison video.
Okay, deal.
Okay, deal. Alright. I love you.
Okay, thank you. I love you too. It's mine.